Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Um, I have a feeling that these technical problems are perhaps just a little bit difficult to overcome. I'm going to make a little attempt here and see if something can be done. No, it looks like it cannot. Well, friends, I'll simply do the best that I can under these circumstances. If you'll just bear with me for a moment. I think I'm getting closer now to being able to solve this problem. Hopefully. Okay, maybe we can start again now. I'm sorry for the things that are sort of at 6s and 7s this morning for me. But anyway, here we go. Master DK has given us this meditation. It's an important one on the attracting of resources for hierarchical purposes. He asks that we do this every Sunday morning, or with the global meditation as we have it now, it will be at different times for different people. But the idea is that we support tangibly the work and blend, and this is important, blend the third aspect of divinity with the second aspect. And we take what we have saved or intended to save in these days of credit cards and other financial instruments. It's not like one is mailing a check necessarily or cash to wherever one wants to send it, but we intentionally save a certain amount and we send it to the group or organization or effort which is helping to bring the hierarchy and the Christ closer. And this we can do. One of the great tests for all disciples is the financial test. And I think if we look over our life and see how we have spent money, whether on personal matters, I'm sure we all have, or increasingly on spiritual matters, we'll get a good sense of where our sense of values lies, so closely connected as it is with the planet Venus, the great archetype for our planet, where a very high sense of spiritual values prevails. Now we realize something important. To those who give shall be given, so that they may give again. The masters of the wisdom, proving their selflessness, have been extremely wealthy when necessary. We have only to look at the Master R on the seventh ray, and Master M at different times and so forth, because they will not use the resources of the third aspect for strictly personal purposes. They will commit it to the great divine plan. We're going to ask ourselves some questions now. We do this every week, but it helps to refresh ourselves. What is our real attitude toward the financial wealth of the world, and how that little portion of it that comes to us will be used? So the first question: if money is one of the most important things needed today for spiritual work, what is the factor which is, at present, deflecting it away from the work of the hierarchy? We will each come up with our own answer to this question, but I think we will find that materialism is roughly equal to personalism. In this great deflection process there is some form of inadequate perception of reality. We continue. What is my personal attitude towards money? And do I regard it as a great and possible spiritual asset, or do I think of it in material terms? What is my personal responsibility in regard to money which passes through my hands? Am I handling this money as a disciple of the Masters should handle it? I think the story in the Bible of the widow's mite, the little bit she had to give was all she had. Somehow that sets the great ideal for all of us. I don't know, could we live up to that, but to those who give all is given, as we are told. It's a big battle for many. One of the heads of the Hydra, one of the physical heads, is the head concerning the wrong use of money. And it really tests our sense of values. So let's ponder on how humanity could be redeemed through the right use of money. Every ashram has its own projects, and in order to manifest, needs the support of material resources. Whatever ray you may be affiliated with, it has something important to give to humanity, and the materialization process, the manifestation process, requires, presently at least, the right use of money. But we visualize money as it is in the world today. It's concretized energy, and at present largely used for material purposes and for the satisfaction, where the individual is concerned, of purely personal desires. We might summarize this by saying that presently money is spent on unnecessary things and not on the essentials that the ashrams want to deliver to humanity. But let us instead visualize money as a great stream of flowing golden substance pouring out of the control of the forces of materialism and into the control of the forces of light. Excuse me, my voice a little rough this morning. And when money flows out of the darkened areas into the areas of light, we will have an entirely transformed world. So with this in mind, the redemption of humanity through the right use of money, flowing towards Christ, his masters, his initiates, his disciples, whose sense of values has been adjusted to the divine plan. Let us say together the following mantra. In a way, addressing the planetary Logos. O thou, in whom we live and move and have our being, the power that can make all things new, turn to spiritual purposes the money in the world. Touch the hearts of men everywhere so that they can give to the work of the hierarchy that which has hitherto been given to material satisfaction. The new group of world servers needs money in large quantities. We ask that the needed vast sums be made available. May this potent energy of thine be in the hands of the forces of light. That day will surely come, but according to the intensity and correctness of the work which the students of esotericism perform, so the day may be hastened and some degree of suffering of humanity relieved. Then we visualize the work to be done by those groups which claim our present allegiance, any group which you may know of that is attempting to carry out the hierarchical plan. There are so many worthy groups in the world, so many. And this group phenomenon, this group gathering for positive purposes, is quite a new thing and is really flourishing, though oftentimes beneath the radar. But there they are, small and larger, working for the redemption, the upliftment of humanity. So through the creative imagination and by an act of the will, see untold and unlimited sums of money pouring into the hands of those who seek to do the Master's work. And then we say aloud, with conviction and with emphasis, an ancient truth, a truth regarding the head of our spiritual hierarchy. He for whom the whole world waits has said that whatsoever shall be asked in his name, and with faith in the response, will see it accomplished. And we echo the words of the initiate Paul here. Faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. Now we're going to ask specifically for the needed resources for those groups and in those directions that we would like to support, advancing their work in the world to help manifest the divine plan. I ask the needed money for, and then you substitute whatever group or direction it may be. And I can demand it because from the center, which we call the race of men, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. All of this then is asked, is invoked in the name of the Lord Maitreya, the present head of the spiritual hierarchy, the Christ. And so, attuning with the great Lord whose energy pervades our planet, we say, we have gathered in your name, Lord Maitreya, be with us. And if we are with him, he will surely be with us. So as you're planning your financial support for the work of the hierarchy, for the manifestation of the divine plan, in whatever way you can conceive it, be practical and realistic, and know that if you do not give, you may not ask, for you have no right to evoke that which you do not share. Thus says the Tibetan. And we have some moments of silence where we're planning our support our contribution and seeing the good effects. We attempt to feel true love sweeping through us, and each one of us has the fixed intention to express this love to all we contact. Love is the great, attractive, and selfless agent in world affairs. Love and money, the second and the third aspects, must be united. And if we can do that in our own individual lives and in our group work, then we can expect it will be easier for humanity itself to accomplish that task. So let us sound the Om 3 times, precipitating love into the worlds of the threefold personality and, of course, into the personality of our nations and into the personality of humanity as a whole. Well, friends, the time has come for us to work as never before. We see the battle raging between that which is of the soul and that which is of the personality. We see where some people, many people really, want to spend the resources of the world. We see that. And we understand where these resources should be spent to really uplift the entire human race and not just raise to some sort of material pinnacle, a small section of humanity, thus obscuring the soul. So we're going to work very hard internally over these next years and bring our life into conformity with the high ideas, the high ideals, what we have been taught by the masters in their very generous, benevolent revelation of the ageless wisdom to us. We'll be careful as we go along, trying to direct all of our energies, not just financial energies, but our individual energies in the right direction, so that the best may be done, and so that the time of the externalization may be facilitated, may be hastened properly, because we could delay things, you know, but we can also bring things forward. So it's up to everybody, every single person, every single soul to determine the degree to which they will offer the help that is so needed. So contribute with your meditative presence, contribute with your study of the ageless wisdom, which has in it amazing profundities, so needed by the human understanding. And contribute through the service activities that Master DK has proposed, such as the triangles, the goodwill work, but also through those organizations which attempt to gather the Christ consciousness together, because we can use the words, but really what is the mind and the heart as it is in Christ, the Christ consciousness. If we can be examples of that, we will really help. So you can study with us in the Moria Federation and in the University of the Seven Rays, and you can participate with us in the gathering of the Christ consciousness with the Blue Rose Sisterhood, and we can invoke the soul of our nations, and we can work at triangles, a work which must go on. There's plenty we can do, and plenty we must do. So let each of us be energized, and let us be energized in our groups, and let us find the way to really make a difference so that humanity may rightly emerge into the Aquarian age. So lots of love from Tuya and me and all of the people participating in the various organizations. Many blessings. And we resume on the evening schedule this coming week, and it'll be Wednesday evening, 5 p.m. GMT, for the work of the triangles. And thank you for meditating with us. We can make a difference. will make a difference, and we have to believe that it is so.